Hello, this is the Tales History, and I have a new original story for my channel Life Stories. They almost had a quarrel right in front of the restaurant. Alice knew very well that this conversation would happen sooner or later, but she didn't think that Pavel would start it right when they arrived to book the banquet and choose the dishes. He stopped the car and said, "Oh my God, what a dump." Alice shrugged, "I like it. We used to come here with the girls. By the way, the hostess is very kind and the food is delicious." Pavel turned to her, "Alice, are you pretending or do you really not understand that we're not coming here just to eat? We're coming to celebrate the most important event in our lives. Pasha, first, don't yell, and second, we simply can't afford a more expensive restaurant." He slapped his hands on Alice's car steering wheel. "This is coming from a man whose father deals with millions." Alice stopped smiling. "Pasha, we've talked about this many times. Living off other people's money is easy, but I don't want to. Dad has already given you a great position for which, frankly, you're not ready. If you want, we can postpone the wedding, wait until our income matches your demands." Pasha barely restrained himself. "Honestly, Alice, you're so stubborn that sometimes you seem foolish because of it. Okay, let's not argue over trifles, let's go." Alice realized he deliberately changed the subject and decided to let it go. This little restaurant was on the outskirts of the city. Once, they lived nearby, and with the girls, they celebrated all their important events here. It was cozy like home, bright, somehow kindly, and most importantly, inexpensive. Moreover, the hostess always gave a discount, as she joked, to poor students. Of course, now everything had changed, become more modern. Alice knew that the restaurant was now run by the daughter of that hostess, and she herself just helped. Before deciding that she wanted to celebrate her wedding here, Alice had come here. The daughter, a bit plump and just as kind as her mother, she liked. The decision was made immediately. "Alice, let's go already." Pavel pulled her by the hand, but Alice saw a girl. She had seen her that time too. The girl had offered to wash the windshield and headlights. She was dressed not just poorly, but badly. Today she was sitting near the entrance and looking with some longing at the arriving and departing people. "Wait," Alice first stepped towards the child, then changed her mind and quickly entered the restaurant. "Pasha," he sighed, his fiancée was always like that, thinking something, doing something, and not explaining her actions to him at all. Well, nothing, he would definitely teach her not to do that after the wedding. Now was not the time. Alice was hot-tempered, and so was her father. Pavel didn't even manage to enter after Alice when she had already returned, carrying a pastry, a bottle of cola, and something else in her hands. The girl passed by Pasha. He sighed, "I wonder if there are any homeless people left in the city that Alice hasn't fed yet." There was nothing to do. He approached the girl together with Alice. She had already given the child everything she had brought. "Hi, my name is Alice, and this is my fiancé Pavel." The girl looked at the food with burning eyes, then at Alice. "Thank you, my name is Kotia." The girl ate, and neatly wrapped the rest and placed it nearby. "I'm taking it to Dad, he's sick." Alice was completely at a loss, then offered her money. "Here, take it. I don't have any more with me." Pavel sighed loudly so that Alice could hear, but the girl paid no attention to him. Little Kotia shook her head negatively. "No, I won't take it. I'm not a beggar, and I have a home. But thank you for the treat." She stood up, already took a step to leave, but returned. "Alice, you're kind, good, but I wouldn't go in your place for this fiancé of yours. You don't know him well." Pavel immediately shouted, Look at her. And this is her gratitude for being fed, just like a stray dog, ready to bite for kindness. Alice nudged him in the side, but the girl, ignoring the fiancé's words, was already leaving. Alice, all the bumps you feed and pity will someday kill you. The girl took him by the arm and smiled. And will you cry then? Pasha exhaled. No, you're really crazy. Alice burst out laughing. In the evening, thoughts of that courtier wouldn't let her sleep. Strange, why did she suddenly say that about Pasha? Alice didn't believe in any fortune-telling, well, almost didn't believe, and the girl was Russian. Maybe her grandmother was some kind of sorceress. Alice sat up in bed, looked at the clock. Well, at this time Pasha was definitely at home. Alice went to bed early, and Pasha always wished her good night and said he was going to bed too. She got up, quickly dressed. No, she wouldn't spy on her fiancé, she was sure he was already fast asleep. Just going for a ride. Alice quietly slipped out of the house, and after 5 minutes drove out of the yard. After 15 minutes she was at Pasha's house and, surprised, looking at the parking lot, realized that his car was not there. Strange, she looked at the dark windows of his apartment, then decisively got out of the car. Well, she could have missed him. No one opened the door. Alice had keys, but she didn't enter, already understanding that she wouldn't find anyone there. The girl drove slowly around the city, not knowing where, just driving. And then right in front of her she saw Pasha's car. It was driving slowly, then signaled a right turn, turning into the yard. Alice threw her car a few meters away and ran on foot into the same yard. She saw the groom immediately. He was not alone. With him was an unfamiliar woman, bright, voluptuous. They couldn't get to the entrance because they were constantly kissing and hugging. Alice even pinched herself because this simply couldn't be. They had a wedding with Pasha in 2 weeks, almost everything was ready, but neither he nor his companion were going anywhere. Alice even began to worry that they might settle right there on the asphalt. When Pavel and the stranger disappeared behind the door, Alice got into the car, took the wheel, but her hands were shaking. No, she couldn't drive in this state, although the city was almost empty. She pressed the gas pedal and the car roared away. After making a couple of circles around the empty city, Alice returned home and lay down. And a miracle, she fell asleep almost immediately. In the morning, she heard her father go into the kitchen and immediately got up. Oh, daughter, you're up early today. Were you out somewhere yesterday with Pasha? I heard you came back late. No, not with Pasha, I was alone. Dad, we need to talk. The father immediately became serious. I understand something happened. Yes. Alice stopped at the restaurant, looked around, there was no one. She went out, headed towards the establishment and then saw her. Courtier was sitting on the grass by a small pond and looking at the water. Alice smiled and darted into the restaurant. She returned quickly, with a large bag of food in her hands. She approached the girl and silently sat down next to her. Courtier turned to her, smiled. Are you alone? Well, as you can see. Do you want to eat? Courtier sighed. Of course I do. I have a growing body, and things at home aren't going well right now. Alice unpacked the bag and started taking out the food. The girl smiled again. Will you eat with me? Alice thought for a moment, then waved her hand. Okay, I don't need to lose weight for the wedding anymore. Courtier laughed. You don't need to lose weight, you're already skinny. Alice smiled. They ate, chatted about nothing. Then Courtier asked seriously, did you kick him out? Well, you could say that. I mean, I've already kicked him out for myself, but he probably doesn't know anything yet. Courtier, can I ask you something? Of course. How did you know? Do you see things or something? Courtier laughed, tried to calm down but couldn't, finally gathered her strength. Yes, I'm a seer. I saw your fiancé with other women. Alice looked at her in amazement. What are you looking at? I sometimes come to the city too, and your fiancé has a distinctive appearance, and he was with a woman like this. Courtier outlined a figure in the air. They were coming out of a hotel and kissing all the time. Seers? Courtier laughed again, and Alice felt that in a second she would either cry or laugh. They laughed. They fell into the grass with Courtier and laughed like crazy. In the evening, Pavel showed up. Alice, we need to talk. Your father has gone crazy. He loaded me with so much work today that I almost died. He even made me go to a neighboring city. Can you talk to him? What's wrong? It seems like there's a job for a chief supplier, but I haven't heard of such a position at Dad's farm. Alice, I don't like how you're talking to me. Pasha, I'm sorry, but you're the one calling me. If you don't like it, then just don't call. There was silence on the other end of the line. Alice, are you upset about something? No, why do you think that? Rather the opposite, I'm happy. I don't understand. Should I come over? No, Pasha, it's not necessary. You're tired after work, and in the evening you might have another meeting with that redhead. So take care of yourself. Oh, I almost forgot, the wedding is cancelled. Alice moved the phone away from her ear because Pasha started shouting something too loudly. She hung up the call, and he immediately called her again. After 3 times, Alice simply added her fiancé's number to the blacklist. Half an hour later, Pavel was ringing at her door. Her father peeked in. Alice, Pasha is here. Tell him I flew to the moon. The father smiled, and Alice stood up. I need to set things straight so that Pavel understands there's no going back. He didn't look his best. Alice, you misunderstood everything. This is my sister. I can introduce you. Alice frowned. Pasha, I'm not going to waste my time listening to your excuses. But if she's your sister, then it's even worse because behaving like that with sisters is, I think, prohibited by law. So don't try. Don't call and don't come. We won't be together. I was at the restaurant and already cancelled the order. Alice turned to leave, but Pavel grabbed her by the hand. Stop, are you crazy? We're not married yet. You have no right to act like this now. I have plans, I owe people. You don't understand, they'll kill me. Alice pulled her hand away, and her father said, leave our house and don't make me call security. The next day, Alice was again at that little restaurant, but Courtier was not there. The girl sat aimlessly in the car for almost an hour, but the child did not appear. Alice scolded herself. What was so hard about asking for the address yesterday? She entered the restaurant. Excuse me, is the girl Courtier here? Oh, they have such a situation there. Some person reported to the guardianship that she was begging here, and the person is not local. Apparently he passed by here and saw her. And in the morning the guardianship came to them, and her dad is sick. He fell from a tower a year ago and still can't get up. They were given 2 days to solve the problems, otherwise they will take Courtier away. Alice gritted her teeth. Do you know the name of the person who reported? I don't know. Something like Pavel Zagorodsky or Zabolotsky. Zagorodny, oh, exactly. It can't be. Is this the same fiancé with whom you were supposed to have a wedding? But Alice was already running out the door. She had the address, but she would definitely need her father's help. She would ask, her father never refused, but Alice herself tried not to turn to him, solving everything on her own. But now was not the time. Courtier, it's important. She entered the room. I'm ready. Alice exchanged glances with her father, and both laughed. Courtier, you're like a princess. The girl's pretended importance immediately disappeared. She ran up to Alice and hugged her. Do you think Dad will like it? Of course. You've been a big girl lately. You don't bite your nails, you sit properly, you eat neatly. Courtier sighed so heavily as if all these achievements had caused her an unbearable effort. With her sigh, she caused a new burst of laughter. That's it, Courtier, let's go. Dad still can't be on his feet for long. Alice, will Dad really be able to walk on his own now? Definitely. And not only walk, but also run. So thank you, Grandpa Andre. Alice's father smiled. He watched as Alice and Courtier settled into the car and how they laughed. He had never seen his daughter so tender, brave, and caring. Alice had many talents, but now she had shown a side of herself that he had not suspected. Courtier's father turned out to be a good man who had simply found himself in the wrong time and place. And if something worked out between them, Andrei Semyonovich would only be glad. The guy radiated honesty, and in general, he was genuine. And judging by Alice, something would definitely work out. Definitely. Andrei Semyonovich sighed. What happiness that Courtier had once met Alice. And it didn't matter that somewhere he had to use his connections, and somewhere he had to spend money. For these people, he spared nothing. And 3 months after the final rehabilitation, they had their wedding in that very restaurant. If you like the story, please support me by clicking the thumbs up button. For you, it's just one action, but for me, it's very important. All the best.